Hi guys, I'm back. I feel like it's my first time again because it's been so long since I have filmed. It's been 3 months, so I am really out of practice and haven't done it by myself, so I don't know how this is gonna go. I am actually, let me rephrase that. With the encouragement of some friends, you know who you are, thank you. They told me I needed to just do this, rip the Band-Aid off, film my first video and be done with it, because the first one's always the worst. And I actually, for the first time, and I really don't even know how long, you guys, I have a free day where I have to be absolutely nowhere. And I'm not working today, and I don't have to run Parker around anywhere today. Although Tim is home, he's upstairs. I kicked him out of the family room. And he's really loud, so I'm hoping he doesn't come downstairs. We'll see, because I don't know how to pause these things. I don't even know if you can. I don't see a place to pause it. I just see a stop button, so I don't know, but I am back. It's good to be back. A lot has happened since I last filmed. It was the beginning of August, so I actually was last night sitting and gathering my thoughts, trying to remember what all has even happened in the last almost 3 months, and it feels like a lot. A lot has happened in the last 3 months. So this video is going to be a little bit different because there is so much that I have done or bought, and most of it I don't even remember. I don't know where I put it. I don't even remember that I've bought it or that I stitched on it. So I kind of tried to gather last night just the few things I'm currently stitching on now and a few things I finished. I have 2 fully finishes too, and figured I would kind of give a recap of what I've been doing or what's been going on and show you guys a little bit of the haul that I was able to remember that I got. That's kind of the key. I know I've gotten a bit of stuff. I honestly cannot remember half of what I got. So today's video is going to be what I could remember and I pulled together. There's more than this. And then hopefully, if I continue doing these videos, the next couple videos, things will kind of start trickling in that I've found or I remembered. So today's is just a little recap of what I know I've stitched on here recently and a few of the things I do remember for sure that I've bought or got, and just fill you guys in on all that's going on in the life of Liz. So, life recap, real quick. Oh gosh, where do I even start? I don't know where to start. Family stuff. Tim is traveling a lot these days. He actually travels a lot for his job. Mostly, I mean, he does travel some in-state, but most of it's out of state. And he kind of has taken he's still doing his old job, but he's also been added on to his responsibilities where now he's a trainer. And so he has had to travel to North Carolina a bit more. And so we just kind of, our lives are always, Tim's schedule is, he has no schedule. So that's pretty much how we live our lives, because he's kind of on call 24/7. Unless he's actually out on vacation, he's pretty much always on call. So we never know from one moment to the next where he's going to be or what's happening. Parker's doing great. He started high school. He's my third, easy breezy at this point. He's doing great. Things are going really well. He's acclimated pretty quickly and he's actually enjoying it, which is a complete and utter shock to me, but I'm super happy about that. So, yeah, he's just busy with activities and, guitar and sports and stuff like that. So he's doing really good. My girls. So actually our oldest daughter, Lexi, and our son-in-law and granddaughter will be here next week. So we're kind of in busy mode trying to prepare the house for that because Avery is now 2. We celebrated her 2nd birthday last month, and she is one busy girl. She is never still for more than a moment, and it's the fun stage where they're into everything. They grab everything, open everything, pull everything down, try to shove everything into their mouth. She's full on all day, but oh my gosh, she's so much fun. We are loving every single moment of it. And currently they are stationed at Fort Campbell. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Who was it? It was Carol who said that the minute you start recording, your nose starts itching. What in the world? My nose never itches. This is bizarre. Anyways, so they're currently stationed at Fort Campbell, but we just found out. Actually, they broke the news to us when we were down there for Avery's birthday that our son-in-law came down on orders. And so they will be moving to Georgia next year. So no more quick 4.5-hour weekend trips. They're going to be double the distance, 8.5 to 9. So we were pretty devastated about that. But we're going to just spend as much time with her as we possibly can while we can. But they're doing really good. And Avery is still the absolute joy of our life. And we love watching her grow, and it's just a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun. So, and then our middle daughter, Grace, is doing good. We had quite the accident with her about a month and a half ago or so, I want to say. Yeah, right after I got back from Hobby House, actually. It was right after I got back from Hobby House, so just beginning of September. Grace had an accident at work, and she sliced off her pointer and her middle, the tips of both of her fingers. There was still some tissue left on the underneath, but the nails and everything came off. It was pretty awful. And so we've had to deal with all of that, changing the bandages every day and rehab and doctor's appointments. And it was pretty traumatic. It was pretty awful. Unfortunately, they couldn't save the tips because they went through the shredder at her work. So anyways, it has been really painful, but she's doing great. She's finally starting to heal pretty well. So, yeah, a lot going on, but that's kind of a quick recap of family stuff. And then outside of family stuff, obviously, the 2 big things were my Hobby House retreat, which I'll talk a little bit about. And then I just had, Tim Park and I just went up to Michigan 2 weeks ago and had a trip up there. So I can talk a little bit about that. But yeah, so let's hop in. Hobby House. So I won't go into too much detail because you guys have probably already seen recaps of it. There's a lot of people there. We had, it was such a good trip. It really was. It was a wonderful retreat. The retreat itself was great. Tanya and Vicky are they're amazing. I love them. They are so laid back, so casual. They put everyone at ease. I knew anything that they had come up with, I would absolutely love design-wise, which of course I did. And we just had an absolute blast. Our table had kind of decided that we were going to come in a little early to spend some time together before the retreat started. The retreat didn't start till Friday. My good friend Susan and I drove up. We actually drove up Tuesday evening because everyone was getting in on Wednesday, but I didn't want to have to drive all the way. I didn't want to have to drive on Wednesday and then go. I just didn't want to have to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning on Wednesday. So we actually drove Tuesday and we got in on Tuesday, which was great because when Susan and I got there, we went straight to Hobby House. It's about a 7-hour drive for me to get up there. Actually a little under 7. was about 6 hours and 45 minutes or so. But we got to Hobby House that Tuesday evening and no one was there. Not a soul other than the workers. So David was there and Ann was there and trying to remember if anyone else was there because it was the evening time on Tuesday, but the store was empty. We were the only customers in there and Susan and I were like, yes, this is fantastic. We have the whole store to ourselves. And so we decided, okay, the one thing we know we want to get before anyone else gets here and before things get crazy is, of course, linen. So we were able to look through all the linen and that was the majority of my haul from Hobby House was linen. And so, and most of it we bought that night. So we were able to really take our time and look through it and have things cut and serged and all of that. But it was really great to have the store all to ourselves. And so we bought quite a bit. Both of us bought a lot of linen, well, a good amount of linen that evening. And then went back and then everyone started arriving on Wednesday. So, yeah, we all had planned to meet up at Hobby House. Brenda, Laura, and Tara were all flying in. So they were gonna, and their flights literally got in within 10 minutes of each other. So they rode over to Hobby House together and met up with us there. And we shopped some more and went and grabbed lunch. And we were waiting on Rachel to get in. She had the longest drive. She was driving in from Michigan. And so she wasn't going to get in until about dinner time. So we kind of just spent the afternoon very casually shopping and having lunch, and then went back to the hotel to kind of get settled and changed for dinner. And then we were going to meet up to go to dinner. We drove over. I actually did not stay at the Woodcliff, but we were about 10 minutes down the road from it. So we drove over and picked everyone up. Rachel had gotten in. Her and her daughter Bellany came, and so we picked them all up and we went out to dinner. They were gracious enough to allow me to eat at one of my all-time favorite restaurants, Dinosaur Barbecue. The original is actually in Syracuse, but I was not driving 2 hours to go to Syracuse. So actually it's an hour to Syracuse. Yeah, it's an hour to Syracuse, but we weren't driving to Syracuse. They have one in Rochester too. But when Tim and I lived in upstate New York many, many years ago, probably 13 years ago, we lived in the Albany area and they had one there. That was the first time I tried it. And of course I fell in love with it. So you would not think that you could get great barbecue in upstate New York, but you would be wrong, because Dinosaur is probably the best. So anyways, they indulged me, and so we went to Dinosaur and had a few snafus there. We had a larger party, which I guess threw them a little bit, but I had forgotten my wallet in the car, so I had to run back out to my car, and when I had gotten back in, they had already seated our group. Karen and Bren, Fox and Rabbit, had met up with us for dinner, and so they were there as well. And they had kind of got there right as I had run out to get my wallet, so we all kind of came in. The rest of the group was already at the table, and they sat us at a high top. So I will tell you that high tops were not designed for 5 foot tall people like me. I basically need a step stool to get into the bar stool chair that they had us at. And we were at the far end. And so everyone else had already sat at the table. So at the far end, it was Karen, and then Bren was on the end, and then I was on the other side. So we kind of rounded out the one end of the table. Well, there wasn't a lot of space. We were very crammed at the end of the table. And so I didn't have a lot of space. I was kind of stuck in there, and I hate those stupid chairs. I feel like a 5-year-old because my feet just dangle down there at the bottom. They can't touch the rail, so I can't set them on anything, the floor or the rail of the chair, because I'm not tall enough for my feet to rest on the rail. So they just dangle there. So dinner, the food was great. It was very loud in there, but the food was great. But unfortunately, poor Bren, I honestly thought, Well, first of all, I'll tell you, Karen is a talkative one, just like me. So her and I had no problems. We talk the whole time. Brent is actually way more quiet in person than I thought he would be. Probably because he couldn't get a word in edgewise with us. But he was quiet. But I assaulted this poor man twice during this dinner. And I swear, I was like, he will never want to speak to me ever again. At one point, I don't even know how it happened. I must have hit the edge of my tray just the right way. I don't even know, because I didn't have a lot of space, so I was kind of crammed in there. And when I hit it, my cornbread went flying off of my tray, hit Bren, and then fell onto the floor. So I was throwing food at the poor man. He was laughing. The people behind us were laughing because it was just like cornbread flying through the air, but it hit him first, then hit the floor. And then towards the end of the dinner, I was going to hop off the stool and go over to the other end of the table because it was really loud in there. So you couldn't really like yell across the table or down the way to go talk. Because I hadn't got to talk a lot. Rachel and Brenda and Tara were down at the other end of the table, and some others. And so I was going to hop down and go run over and say hi real quick to them because I hadn't really talked to them throughout the dinner. Well, I have to jump off of the stool, and so I went to flip my legs to position myself to jump off the stool to get down, and when I did it, now I don't have long legs, I have short legs, but Brent has really long legs because Brent is tall, and I am not. And so when I flipped my knees out to get off of the stool, out of the table, I whacked his leg hard under the table, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And instinctively, like if it was one of my kids or something, because I rammed his leg, I grabbed his leg, I put my hand on his leg, I grabbed his leg, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And then I realized I'm like grabbing this man's leg. I literally just met him like an hour ago. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to grab your leg. I was like, this man is going to be like, this woman who the heck is this chick? And so I was like, I'm so sorry. So I threw food at him and grabbed his leg under the table, and I was pretty mortified. But thankfully, they actually still wanted to talk to me the rest of the retreat. We kind of became fast friends. I adore them. They're so much fun, and we are planning to spend some time together when they come over for a market in March, so I can't wait to see them. So thank you, Bren and Karen, for all the laughs and for graciously forgiving me for all of my horrific behavior at the dinner table that evening. So the retreat went on. We had lots and lots of, so many laughs, you guys. Apparently, I guess Brenda and Laura said we were the naughty table. Maybe we're the naughty table. I don't know that we were naughty though. We did laugh a lot, and we were probably loud. Between Tara and me and Pam Horner, we were pretty loud. All three of us have large voices and laugh pretty loud. So, although my laugh's probably the loudest, but we just had honestly the best time. The food was amazing. I won't go into it because I know other people have done recaps. The food was amazing. The projects were beautiful. The stitchers were wonderful. I met so many amazing people there. All the tables around us. So many of you came up and said hi and introduced yourself, and it was so nice to meet you, and thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, it was just such a great weekend. It was a really, really good weekend. I loved every minute of it. So I look forward to next year. Most of our tables still planning to go back, so we're excited. We'll be together again. It'll be a good time. It'll be a really good time. And I'm glad Tanya and Vicky agreed to come back. So anyways, other than that, we did have our Michigan trip, and we had a great time, brought stitching, didn't stitch a single thing, and brought knitting, didn't knit a single thing. Honestly, I think that trip was really more of I just needed to kind of decompress from everything going on in life. And so Rachel played the tour guide for me that weekend, and I got to soak in the beauty of where she lives. I will tell you, Northern Michigan has a piece of my heart for sure. I'd move there tomorrow if I could, in a heartbeat. I love the cold. I love the trees. Oh, the trees. Oh my gosh. It was like I was back in Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee. It was stunningly beautiful, and I loved everything about it. I cannot wait to go back. We're already planning some trips for next year, so we're super excited. Tim and Park came with me, and they originally came because they were going to go to Michigan Adventure. Plans changed once they discovered hunting for Petoskey stones in the lake and other rocks, and that's pretty much what they did the whole weekend, and they had an absolute blast while Rachel and I, kind of went out and did our own thing. So anyways, that's a quick recap. So let's get into what I've been stitching. Sorry about that. My gosh, that's like 20 minutes. I apologize. If you guys sat through that, kudos to you. I will try not to do that again. It's just been so long and I haven't seen you guys. So I just kind of wanted to give you a recap of what was going on. Yes. Okay. Stitching. Let me get to stitching. So what I've been working on. These were the few things that I kind of pulled out that I actually remembered. Like I said, most of it I don't even remember what I've done, but these are the few things I do know that I've worked on, so we'll get into it. And like I said, I have some finishes and then fully finished and some haul, at least the haul I can remember, and then I think we'll be good. I'm gonna try not to make this very long. So anyways, first thing I've been working on. I pulled this back out. This was the Sweet Scissor Mat. I had started this earlier in the summer, I think, and I had just worked on like the outside border, but I finished the pink border and I finished that first row of alphabets. So I'm stitching this on 40 count Overcast by Cedar River Linens. And so this is what I've gotten so far. You guys, I absolutely love this. Like the simplicity of this and just the colors are just, oh my gosh, they're so absolutely gorgeous. I really am in love with this. So that is Sweet Scissor Mat by Lottie Da. I am actually almost. So there's only 2 colors in this, but I actually am using one of the 2 colors. So that's great for me. The darker color is Blackboard by Weeks and the lighter color is Pink Sand, but I think I switched it out for Sanguine. So almost called for color. So Sweet Scissor Mat by Lottie Da. Next one I started, and I was bound and determined. Okay, you know what? I actually probably will finish this. I pulled this out and was gonna finish this at Hobby House, but didn't get a lot of stitching done, like at all. Laura actually got a lot of stitching done at that retreat. I was super impressed. She was like focused and she was stitching, and Rachel, actually, considering Rachel usually doesn't stitch at retreats, Rachel even got more done than I did. I don't know what my problem was. So my plans to finish this at Hobby House failed, but that's okay. That's okay. But I did want to get it finished this fall. So I pulled this out. This is the Scarlet House, and this is the On Coverlet Court. So I was going to do this as like my autumn stitch, which I still will do. I have changed pretty much all of the colors, shocking as that might be. There's only 4 colors, but I changed them all. So I just wanted it to be, this is kind of very autumnal and, but I just wanted to brighten it up just a tad bit so I could use it a little bit more year round. So I'm stitching it on 46 Prairie Grat, nope, Old Sampler. Oh, Old Stationery. So, gosh, Liz, I am way out of practice, you guys. Seraphim, 46 Old Seraphim. Old Stationery by Seraphim. Word. count, Liz. Goodness, words. 46 count old stationery by Seraphim. I'll get there one of these days. So this is what I've got done so far. So like I said, I kind of brightened up those over there on the side. It's a tiny little thing. It's going to be a little tiny pillow, but yeah, there's really not that much more. There's really not much to this, really. So this is done. My tree is done. I've started down here. The house is done. So I just need to finish this row and that, and then decide what I'm going to do in this corner. I haven't decided if I'm going to do my initials or not, but that is my Scarlet House one I started and was going to finish and have not. But I will. No worries. All right. On to the next one. Sorry, I got this pattern at Summer Stitch. Here locally, Barbara does a Summer Stitch in July. And Liz Matthews had a trunk show there. So I picked this up there. She had all her beautiful, beautiful models there. So I was able to see it, which is why I fell in love with it. This little pillow right here, you know, continuing my year of smalls. Of course, I wanted this little pillow right here. So I did start it. Now, Liz did this monochromatic in a really pretty brown, and it looked beautiful. It looked beautiful. But I decided to switch it up a little bit, shocking as that may be. And you know what? I was wondering, I cannot remember. This looks like... This looks like Newport Beach. This looks like 46 count Newport Beach by Needle and Flax, Rachel. But I lost my tag on it, so I'm not sure about that, but it's one of my favorite colors, so I'm pretty sure that that's what this is. So I got the outside border done, which was one color, and then all the rest of the inside will be this other color, which is Old Money, I believe is the color I used on the inside by Classic Colorworks. Or is it Gentle Arts? One of the two. Old Money. Sorry, the sun is like really coming in now. I hope that's not gonna create an issue for you guys. Maybe it is. Oh no, it probably is. Oh, well, you know what? I don't know how to pause this video, so we're just gonna keep going. Oh gosh. I have like a 2-story vaulted ceiling, or vaulted family room. And that's coming in from the upper light, which I don't have blinds on, so I can't control it. Oops. So next one was one of my retreat pieces. It was Tanya's retreat piece. Actually, let's do this. So we got two. Vicky and Tanya both did two. We got a small on Friday evening, and then we got our bigger or larger retreat piece on Saturday. So this was Tanya small from Friday night, which you guys have probably seen. Home. So the theme of the retreat was My Life as a Sampler. So this is Home is Where My Samplers Are. It's a little pillow, little pin keep, actually, I think is what it is. And so Tanya gave us the 103s for this. And the 103s worked both for our small and for our larger piece. So it was on 40 count Dolly Madison by Needle and Flax. I switched my linen. I actually am stitching with the 103 silks, although I changed a few. Like I know I changed my red and I changed my green to ones I had in my stash, still 103s, but ones I had in my stash. And so I decided to stitch mine on 40 count Needle and Flax, but I did it on, oh no, I knew my brain was gonna, oh my gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. 40 count. It'll come to me in a minute. It's a brown. Hold on. It'll come to me in a minute. So I don't have much left. I have the little cartouche things over here and finish this bottom row, and then samplers are, and I'm done on this pillow or this little pin keep. I love this so much. This is on... Oh my God, I figure if I keep saying it, it'll come to me. What is wrong with you, Liz? Just give me a minute. Oh, it's right there. I'm just going to randomly blurt it out somewhere in this video because it will come to me. It will come to me. I swear. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I'll think about it. I'll think about it. It will come to me. I promise at some point in this video, I will remember what the color is. It's her brown, darker brown taupe. I keep wanting to say Hawthorne because that's what my other one's on, but it's not on Hawthorne. Hemingway! Hemingway! 40 count Hemingway. I knew it was an H. What is wrong with me? So anyways, that was my pillow pin keep from Tanya that I started on 40 count Hemingway. And then the full retreat piece, which was this beautiful sampler, Red Manor sampler. She did on, hers was on Thornfield. Hers was on 40 count Thornfield, but I wanted to stitch this on 46. So I switched out my linen color, but I also made a few changes, Tanya. I know Tanya doesn't really watch Flosstube, so she's not going to see this, and I know she won't care. Because this was like a, I don't remember if this was an exact, oh yeah, it wasn't. She kind of did a few adaptations on it. So I really did not want to stitch, I lovingly call ball trees. They're not my thing. If you know me, you know that. So I didn't really particularly want to stitch them. And I always hate stitching like leaves. I'll do it, but I don't enjoy it. And not necessarily these flowers. So I thought, okay, I do love all of this down here. And of course I love the house and I love these. Can you see those? Hopefully that comes into focus. These diamond like quilt squares. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. So I decided I didn't really like these rosebud vases right here. So I am simply taking these, moving them down here to either side, and then stitching my sampler from here. So my birds down, but moving these right here on either side of this center flower urn thing on the roof. So I'm just switching up my sampler a little bit. Okay, kind of a lot, but I'm not adding anything. I'm just shifting things around and omitting a few things. So I started at my very tiny start, but hey, I started it on a piece of 46 Hawthorne, which is my favorite color by Rachel. That and Newport Beach are kind of, well, and Sleeping Bear. I love them. Actually, you know what? There's really not a color Rachel does that I don't like, but Hawthorne and Newport Beach are probably my two favorites. So this is on 46 Hawthorne, and I started it. So this will be where the top of it with those two birds, and that's that one cartouche over there. And I've got enough of this. I actually had a bigger piece of this. This was 46. And I had stitched two other things on the top of it, but somehow in the middle of my, towards just underneath those two things I stitched, so almost kind of, not really in the middle, towards the top, I got this big, huge water stain. I do not know how it got there. I was devastated because I love this color. I love this linen so much. And I showed it to Rachel and she was like, yeah, that's not coming out. I was like, no, because it was my favorite piece. But so unfortunately, I just cut off the top and cut out that stain, but I have enough of this that I will be able to do this with my modifications because I'm stitching kind of like here down. So I have a big enough piece to stitch that on. So that was my small start on the sampler. That's actually not a small, that's actually a full-size sampler. So I made an exception for this one, sorta, and the one other one I'm gonna show. Okay, so here's my last whip, at least the ones I could find. I got this at Hobby House, and this is what I was talking about on my video. I saw the model of this and fell in love with the model. The model's done on 28 count Lugana over 1. Yep. Yeah, 28 count Lugana Brash. And Tanya did it over 1. I don't even know why I like this. Sometimes some samplers just speak to you. They just do. And I think this was one of those things. I kept picking up the model and looking at it like for like 3 days. And finally I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just buying this thing, because I keep picking it up and I keep going back to it. So it's Ann Peg by the Scarlet House. I like a couple things about it. I love the border about it, and I liked the flowers down here. Now, I'm shocked that I'm actually going to stitch these berry bowls, because I don't like stitching berry bowls, but yes, I know. There's a lot of people that do. I'm not really one of them, but it's okay. I'm going to make an exception because I love this so much, and I love the little pops of blue down here, but it's one of my all-time favorite hymns, and so I think that's why it spoke to me. And I love the pop of blue in the alphabet up here. So I got this and love it, and started on it when I got home. But instead, I did buy the 28 count. I didn't buy Brash, but I did buy Fiber on a Whim 28 count Lugana to stitch over one. But I think I got Milk and Honey 28 count Milk and Honey Lugana. But when I started it, I don't know, I just didn't really like it. So I decided I'm just gonna do it on 46 because I'm super comfortable with 46, and it'll still be small. It's only an inch wider and an inch taller when I do it on 46. So like a half an inch on each side. So it's pretty much the same size almost, just a little bit bigger, just an inch. So I started Ann Peg on, what is this? This is 46 count. Oh, taking Brenda's advice that Brenda was just talking about. I am a big collector of Lakeside linen. I have a lot of it. I don't show it. Now, I don't have as much as my good friend Penny, but I have a lot of Lakeside, and I've been collecting it for a couple years now. And I keep collecting it, and then I never stitch on it. And I don't know why, because I love it. Sorry, I don't mean to hit the table when I put my hands down. But why am I buying it if I only have it sitting in my bin or a bag? Because I'm hoarding it for whatever reason. I don't ever get to see it. And if I stitched on it and framed it or finished it, then I get to enjoy looking at it. So I am forcing myself now to pull out my Lakeside and actually start using it instead of just collecting it. So this is 46 count Vintage Meadow Rue by Lakeside. And that is my start on Ann Peg. So that's as wide as it gets right here. It's pretty small. I think it's like 7 inches or so. 7 by 8, something like that. It's not going to be very big. It's going to be pretty small, but I really am in love with it, and I certainly love Lakeside. It's beautiful to stitch on, and I certainly need to start using some of that 46 Lakeside that I've been hoarding. So I deemed this particular chart worthy of it, and so that's what I did. I did my own conversion to it, and yeah, I don't think I stitched a single one that's on here. Sorry, Tanya, I love you and your colors are beautiful, but I just changed it up a little bit. I used the same kind of tone that she used, but just kind of changed up a few of them. So anyways, that's my Ann Peg. It's what I love and what I've been stitching on here recently, and just really enjoying it. So anyways, there's my whips. Okay, on to finishes. Not fully finished, but finished. I know I've actually had quite a bit of them. Do I remember what all of those are? No, I do not. I don't even know where I put them, but I will eventually find them. And then I'll show you guys once I do. So, a few. I can't remember, and that's the other problem. My gosh, I can't remember what I've shown, or if I finished it when I was still filming, or if I haven't. If I've shown it, this one is the maybe one. I was like, did I show this the last time? I don't remember. But it is French Woolens by Paulette, Plum Street Samplers. I know I was working on it and you guys saw that, but I can't remember if I showed you guys the actual finish of it. So this is stitched on 46 count Winter Woolens by Seraphim. Fitting, right? Since it is French woolens, my little sampler. So it's a tiny little guy, but I did finish it, and I can't remember if I showed it or not. I made some changes to the blues and reds in the house. But it's about the size of my hand. It's small. I don't have big hands. Looks kind of big there, but it's not. It's an adorable little pillow. It's probably what I'll finish it as. It's just like a little pillow, or maybe not. Maybe I'll find a cute frame. I'm trying to branch out with my finishing to do different things. One of my finishes, Jan kind of made me push the envelope and try something different, and I love it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet, but I love this little thing. It's adorable, especially the little sheep rear ends, like sticking out from the top and the sides. So cute. So there was one of them. My next finish, I know I was working on this, but I don't think I had finished it the last time I filmed. I was close, but I hadn't finished it quite yet. So this is out of my book that you guys know I love, because I've showed this a few times. I love it so much. Vicky, Megan did this one too. So Vicky and Megan did this book. It's called A Schoolroom Alphabet. I got this, it's out of print, so I got this secondhand from eBay, I believe. I had put in like a search thing for when it popped up. Most of these are crazy expensive, this book. So I waited a year until one came along that was actually the sticker price of what they originally bought it for at Stitcher's Stash in Fairfax, Virginia. I don't even think that store is still open, but I got it for the sticker price of it, and when I saw it, I snatched it up immediately because all of the things in here are blue, and I love them so much. So the first project I did in this was the little schoolhouse that's on the front of the book here. Now I decided not to put school on it, but I did do the schoolhouse. It's super tiny. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I love it so much. Oh, it's so pretty. Trying to remember what blue I used for this. It's a Belsois. I'll think about it. But yeah, so I finished my little schoolhouse. I love it. I just need to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. Now this one, technically, I think is technically still a whip, but I have so little left on it that I went ahead and just put it in my finished pile. So my other fall start, besides my On Coverlet Court by Tanya, was A Witch in Her Garden. Now I had bought this last year when this came out. So disclaimer, I don't stitch Halloween things, and those of you that know me know that, but I do enjoy fall things. But for some reason, I just really like this. I thought it was cute. I just made some modifications, that's all. So I didn't do any of the pumpkins' faces, so they're not jack-o'-lanterns, they're just pumpkins. And I didn't do on the pumpkin here, but everything else is kind of how it should be, other than I did my own color conversion for it. So I had a scrap piece of, or a spare piece, I don't even know where it came from, honestly, but it was in one of my piles, but it was cut, so I had to have used it at some point for something else. But I haven't stitched on Picture This Plus in a very long time, so I don't even know what it is. But this is 40 count Picture This Plus Ren, and it was a scrap piece I had, but I didn't need very much for this. So this is almost done. The only thing I have left is to finish, they're not, you can't really see them, but they're, oh, you kind of can. There's these little vine things around the pumpkins and on the bottom of like this sunflower, and that's, no, just that sunflower, that one right there. So I just have to do the little vines, and it's meant to be a drum, so that kind of folds over right there. I don't know that I'm not going to do a drum though, I don't think. I actually saw Ginger's. Ginger had like done hers on a, I don't think she framed it. I'm trying to remember what Ginger shawl. Oh, Ginger. I know I commented and I loved it and I told you I was working on it. Go back and look at her Instagram. If you don't follow Ginger anyways, you should, because Ginger is inspiration left and right. All of her pictures are so beautiful, and I do not have that gift. I told you guys in that video, I do not have that gift. You're not going to see me with these beautiful like pictures and layouts of my stitching and stuff. It's not my thing. It's just, I'm not good at it. So I'm not even going to try. But Ginger's picture of this, she had it in her kitchen. It was really, really cute. So, but it's done, minus putting those little bittersweet little lines in there, I think. But this was actually a lot of fun to stitch. I really enjoyed it. So that's done, minus those vines. But I will finish those and then decide what I'm going to do with it. And then my last one. So I took this into keepsakes yesterday when I went. I was dropping off something for Susan, and Pam was actually there. So Pam and Steph were there, and Susan, and the store was kind of quiet most of the time we were there, and my friend Jan Reeder, who also works there. But I was showing this to them because this is my longest whip, I believe. This would have been my 3rd year of working on this. I bought it, started it back in 2021, started it, and then stopped, and then picked it back up last year in 2022 and did a little bit more and stopped. And so when I pulled it out this year, I was like, this is so ridiculous. Liz, finish this dang thing and be done with it. So I was showing it to them yesterday because I was so excited that it was finally done. Barbara knew. I had loved her model that she has over the door of keepsakes. And so that's when I originally bought it. Old chart. I'm sure I know they still make them, but it's an old chart. So it is Bethlehem by Imaginating. So Barbara's is stitched on a much bigger piece, or a larger count, I should say. So hers is so pretty and beautiful and framed above the door. And it's monochromatic. And they used, what did they even use for this? DMC. So I decided it's like a brown, I think. But Barbara's is in color. Hers is really, really pretty. I can't remember the color she used, but she didn't use a brown. I did like the brown black, but didn't want to use DMC, so I picked out an NPI silk since it's monochromatic, and a really pretty brown silk. And so the first year I think I had gotten to here, and last year I got to like right about here, so I finally just finished that. I was not going to add that tree in there, and Barbara yelled at me and told me, not meanly, she was just giving me a hard time. She's like, you have to put the tree in, Liz. It's going to look weird if you don't put the tree in. I just didn't want to stitch like all of those, but I sucked it up and I did. I stitched it. So anyways, I am happy to say that it is done finally. And I was going to frame it, but yesterday when I was in there, Barbara had another finish on the wall, because we were talking about what I wanted to do with this, because they're like, oh, you can make it a drum because it's just really long and skinny, but I didn't really want to do a drum. We had a whole nother discussion about drum people, because I guess Barbara actually rotates her drums. I do not do that. I was like, I don't want a drum because you'll only see a little part of it. She's like, well, you rotate it. I'm like, I don't rotate my drums. I'm like, Stephanie was in the no rotating her drum club either. So she had this finish on this wall of a totally different chart. It was actually, it was a tiny town, I think. It was a tiny town, but she had it mounted on an older piece of wood. And like over cardstock, and then I think she had another one behind with some fabric. I don't know if I'm going to do the fabric yet, but I thought, actually I didn't come up with that idea. Who did? One of the girls at the table did. Came up with the idea of putting it on a piece of wood too, since it is the Bethlehem and the manger scene. So I actually think I'm going to do that. We have a lot of old barnwood in our garage. A lot of it came from Tennessee when we lived there. So I know I've got a cool gnarly piece of wood out there somewhere. So I think I actually may finish this on a piece of wood because it's different, and I thought that would be fun. And so that's what I'm going to do. So thank you, ladies, for a fun afternoon yesterday. And I enjoyed getting to visit with them all and catching up with them. And talking with Pam and Steph because they just got back from Utah. So we talked all things Utah, since that's my home, where my parents are and my sister are. My sister is. So it was fun to talk Utah stuff with them. It's because Utah's had the most spectacular fall this year. The colors on the mountain are just stunning. stunning. Last year was not like that. Some years the colors are amazing in the mountains. Other years they're kind of dull and drab and just die. So this year has been absolutely incredible. So I enjoyed seeing the pictures and talking about home for a little bit. So anyways, here it is. This is my Bethlehem. So I don't even remember. I know this is a weeks dye work 46. It's either beige or gray. Don't know, but it's 46 weeks. I do know that. It's been a couple years, can't remember. And I've cut, this is why I don't cut it. I usually stitch on blankets. I don't ever cut my linen. I don't like cutting it, so I'll stitch on these huge pieces of linen. At some point, somebody made me cut this because I was stitching this tiny little thing on this huge piece of linen. So anyways, now I don't know what it was because I cut it off and they serged it for me at keepsakes. But anyways, here is my Bethlehem. I love it so much. It really was, even though it took me 3 years. It was a lot of fun to stitch, and I'm so glad it's done now, and I cannot wait to have it up for Christmas this year. So that was my last finish. Okay, fully finishes. I need to get on it. I want to show these real quick. I may not do all my haul because I really don't want this to be a long video. So maybe we'll save haul for another video. I'll show you a few things, but not a lot. Okay, first fully finished. So this is the one where Jan had me go outside of the box. This is Scarlet House Penny Pumpkin, I believe, is the name of it. And I had the chart, and did I bring it over here? No, I did not. Pretty sure this is Penny Pumpkin. I was stitching it before you guys. I do know that I showed this and you guys saw the finish, but now it's fully finished. So Jan and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, if I wanted a pillow, but then we decided, she encouraged me to go outside of the box a little. So I let her kind of have free reign to finish this for me, and I'm in love with it. So this is my Penny Pumpkin. She finished it on one of those little pitcher, you know, the little spiral pitcher holder things. So she did it as a flat fold finish. It just has the little baby rickrack on the back. That was a piece of fabric from Cheddar and Cole I'd gotten, Pam Buda's Cheddar and Cole line. It matched my pumpkins like perfectly. So anyways, she did it as a flat fold, so it's like a hard finish. But it just sits up on this little thing, and I absolutely love it. It's adorable. It is so stinking cute. Everything Jan does is like pure perfection, always. So she did such a good job. All right, last finish. And this is the one you guys have been waiting for. So, and I was so stinking excited to get this. You guys have no idea. I was so excited to get this. She's still working on my stepmom's, but she'll have that one finished because she was gracious enough to finish them both for me. This is my shepherd's bush stocking. And I could not love it more. I could not love it more. It's funny because when Jan gave it to me, she said, okay, I love that so much. I'm going to have to stitch one of those too, because that tiny little stocking is just the cutest thing ever. So this one was the Jeffrey stocking. I wanted a very simple finish. I don't like frilly stuff or lots of things on my, I'm a very simple finisher, or I like my things simply finished. And Jan and Susan both know that since they do all my finishing for me. So I love this fabric line too. I found this at my favorite quilt store in Madison. I loved it. It was perfect for this, but she put it on a little hanger with a little button on the side. That's it. I don't like the cording or anything on mine, but here is my stocking. Oh my gosh, you guys. I seriously love this so much. It is going to be my ornament on my tree this year, or one of my ornaments. I've actually already bought 2 other stockings I'm going to start. But Jan kept the template for this for the size, so she'll have it now. But I could not love this thing more. It is seriously just the cutest thing ever. It's lined on the inside with the same fabric, but how stinking adorable is this? She rounded the toe for me because I wanted a more round toe. But I am so in love with this little guy. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Jan, you did a beautiful job as always, my dear friend. Gorgeous. It's just the cutest little thing ever. I cannot wait to do more of these. Okay, so that's it for my finished, all my stitching related stuff. So real quick, because oh my gosh, time really does go fast when you're doing these, doesn't it? I got a whole bag full of linen. So this was kind of my haul from Hobby House, from Rachel, when I saw her up in Michigan. So that's her new Sleeping Bear, 46. And I also got some of the Hemingway, the one I couldn't remember, but I knew I had it. That was 40 Hemingway. So if you haven't got her new Sleeping Bear, you guys, seriously, this color is like the most perfect color sampler linen ever. Like, it's just gorgeous. And that's her Hemingway, which is definitely darker, so you can tell how much darker Hemingway is. More modeling in it too. Beautiful as always. Everything Rachel does is amazing. I do know for my birthday, so she gave me my birthday gift when we were in Hobby House, and she gifted me more Hawthorne. My favorite, she gifted me my two favorite colors for my birthday. Newport Beach, which is my other favorite, which is just a really light, you can't really see it here, it looks kind of brown, but it's not. It's got a really faint light pink undertone modeling to it. And then my Hawthorne, more Hawthorne since I destroyed the one that I had. And then I got a bunch of Seraphim, got some Lakeside, I won't show you all these. Prairie Grass by Seraphim, 46, 46 Dusty Road by Seraphim, 46 Old Stationery by Seraphim. And then one of the gifts I got, now I promise, there are more gifts than this. I will do them on another video. But a few I wanted to show. Oh, this was, Rachel also got me this as one of her gifts. And I'm going to show you this because I'm excited because I know she's going to be doing these. She got me a little pair of the Kohana little snip snips. And some little fun accoutrement things that go in there and stickers. But this is what it came in. And I was so stinking excited because I was like, oh my gosh, when did you start doing tote bags? How did I not know this? Well, she hasn't quite yet. So it's a great tote bag, really good size, big opening, soft. It's not like hard crispy, but and I love this so much. So I know she's going to be doing these tote bags. I did check with her before I announced this. Or maybe that was my diabolical plan to announce it and then force her to do them. So I know she's going to be ordering these and putting them up on her website. She's kind of been swamped with so many retreats and stuff going on right now that she's been dyeing linen like a crazy woman, but I know she plans on doing these. So keep an eye out on her website and hopefully this will be her push to get them done. And post them up there because this is a great tote bag and I can never have enough tote bags. I am slightly obsessed with them. So, I was going to show that real quick. And, Susan made all of us these adorable little tomato pin cushions. Look at that little button at the bottom, you guys. And she had them out on the table and let us all pick from them. And she gave me this adorable little bird pin to go in it. Susan's so crazy talented. So yeah, she made all of us these beautiful tomatoes. I know this is from the Cheddar and Cole line, but I love this so much. So thank you, my dear friend. Oh, and one other thing she gave me I was going to show, because you know what? Sometimes you see those ads on Instagram and you're like, is that legit? Or is this like some kind of like scam or something? Because I swear half of them really are scams. And I had seen this so many times and I laughed when she gave it to me because I knew exactly what it was. And I said, oh my gosh, I've wanted to buy one of those for so long, but I didn't know if they were like legit. Well, I'm here to tell you they are. So if you've seen these ads, I can attest now that it is a legit company and I am in love with it. So couldn't tell you the name of it. I don't remember, but you guys have probably seen them on Instagram, maybe on Facebook. I know for sure on Instagram, but maybe Facebook too. So there are these wooden needle cases. It's wood. It's a wood box. It's a needle case. Of course, she got me the bird one because she knows how much I love birds. And that's my grandma named Birdie, but she got me these wood box. So it flips up. I'm not doing it right on the camera. I'm going like opposite. So it flips up and then there's a magnetic strip in here. And she had my name like burned. They probably burn it. etched into the wood there. But it like rotates up and it's magnetic. So it's a little needle case. I will find out where she got these from. I can post it in the notes. If somebody wants to know, I can post it in the notes below and let you guys know where she got it from. I don't remember, but she probably does. So anyway, she got me that too. I wanted to show that because I was going to tell you, not everything's a scam. Most things are, but this one wasn't. This is legit. All right. When Rachel and I were up in Michigan and we were at the antique store, if you don't follow her, you should. I don't know if she posted it to her Needle and Flax or if she posted it to her private IG account, which is I also stitch. But she found in the wild the most beautiful sampler, like stunning sampler. It had a blue roof, you guys. I mean, I was sold. I had zeroed in on something else, didn't even see it hanging on the wall. And of course, she saw it instantly. And she snatched it up, that Rachel. And if you haven't seen a picture of it, you should go see it because it is such a beautiful, gorgeous sampler for a crazy, like the price of it, I was shocked. It would have been way, way more had it been on eBay. And this thing is beautiful. Old. The frame is so old. It was a insane, crazy, amazing find. Go check it out if you haven't though. But while we were there, I got a few things. I won't show all of them, but I got these little rugs, these little mini hooked rugs. I don't know if they were like dollhouse rugs or maybe I think Rachel said they were coasters, but I've also seen people make them as like little dollhouse rugs too. They're so cool. They were just really fun. I really loved them. So I got a couple of them. Yeah, they were really neat. I don't know if I'm going to use them as coasters or what. I mean, look, the back is just as beautiful as the front. Actually, it's even be prettier. I love them. So I got those. And then we found these little books. How cool is this? So it's speeches and addresses from Abraham Lincoln. So they had this one and then they had a George Washington one. On the inside, it has like all his little famous speeches and addresses. But so we decided to split it. So I got the Abraham Lincoln one and she got the George Washington one. And she did let me choose though. But yeah, these books are so neat. I love them. Like it was just really cool. That was a great antique store. We found some really fun, cool stuff. That front page is ripped out, so I don't even know what the copyright of it is, but it is old. Really fun find. So we found that. And then at Hobby House, I wanted to show this too because I got a couple gifts at Hobby House and I promise I will show them. Do not think I forgot about you or I didn't. I just need to find them all and collect them all. But this one I did know where it was. So I met sweet, beautiful Georgia at Hobby House, Georgia O'Brien. And she's GM O'Brien, O'Brien. She lives in Illinois. I do know that. But she is so crazy talented and it was such a joy to meet her. I loved it. And I think Brenda and Laura showed theirs too. These pretty little boxes with this, she had a different like quote on the inside of all of them. Mine says the soul's joy lies in doing. I love it. I love it. And if you don't follow Georgia, you should, because let me tell you, Georgia just had an artist come to her home and paint her entire like entryway and up her stairs, I believe. I don't even have words. Like it was stunning. It was incredible. This artist was so insanely talented. She painted these beautiful pastoral scenes. Like, oh my gosh, I was just floored. I was floored when Georgia was showing the pictures of them. You need to go follow her and check it out because it was amazing. But Georgia gifted us this handmade jewelry, so with sampler pictures in the middle there. So earrings and a necklace, which I had kind of pulled off, so now the thing's hanging down there, and scissor fob. I happen to have that sitting by my stitching area there, so there you go. I just loved them. Thank you, Georgia. So much. I so loved meeting you, and I am so grateful that you thought of us and made these handmade gifts for us. It means a lot. So, and I promise the other gifts I got, I just need to gather them together and I will show them. But What else? Oh yeah, when I was at Hobby House, of course, as if I needed a new hobby, which I do not, but I did anyways. I mean, I have quilting stuff, but this fabric, so this, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, here's that one too, there. But these were all bought, these are French General, with the intent of doing English paper piecing with them. So Susan got me addicted to English paper piecing. I love it. It is so much fun. I got the little rotating mat and all my little paper pieces and my glue sticks and stuff. So I've made a bunch of little hexies, but Susan's going to show me how to sew them together to make little pin cushions. So this is going to be my next project, but I picked these up at Hobby House, the Wool and Quilt Works, which is next door. But also, if you don't know, Hobby House just purchased or leased, or I'm not sure, one of them, a new facility, and it's an old barn. It's a piece of property that's close to the wood cliff, but it's an old pole barn, and they are turning it into an Hobby House all in one. So the cross stitch store, the wool store, and the quilt store will all be in one building next year. I know sometime around the first of the year they're planning to move, and I'm so excited for them. It's going to be so amazing that they have everything in one place. And I mean, it's a couple thousand, maybe 6,000 square feet. It's huge. It's big. But it's going to be amazing next year when we go for the retreat to see the new place. I'm super excited for them. So anyways, real quick, when I love these bags. Rachel actually gave me a couple of these because I love these so much. And I guess I'll show a few of the things I got. I did pick up some Gentle Art wool threads while I was there at Hobby House. I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet, but I'll figure it out. And, oh, you know what? Yeah, anyways, just a couple of the things I've gotten here recently that I know. I got, of course, the Peppermint and Holly, the new Blackbird book. I remember Laura talking about this on one video like a couple years ago. It was out of print, obviously, but she was stitching one of the things in here. And so when this came back, I know I'm going to stitch this one right down here. I was really excited, so I picked that up. And I also got this one from October House. It's called a knitter sampler. I did my own conversion, so I have the floss colors back there ready to go. I haven't decided what I'm going to stitch this on yet, but I'm going to start this one. So I did get that one. I got the new Sarah Barnes by the Scarlet House. I got this one from Rachel because Rachel sells charts and kits and things on her website as well. But I love this one so much. Like, I really love this one. I plan on starting this one for sure. Yeah, this one just kind of spoke to me. I loved it. So I'm going to start this Sarah Barnes. I did pick up, a bunch of people picked this up as well. Pretty Bird by the Artsy Housewife. It's so different and so kind of funky and unique. And sometimes, I don't even know why, because it's really not my style. It's really not what I normally stitch. But sometimes it's okay to go a little outside of the box. If you like it, you like it. Stitch it. Like, there's no rules. You don't have to fit into any one box. So I liked it, so I bought it. Anyways, I think that's about it for now. I do have lots more, but I'm not going to overload you guys with all of it. Oh, Rachel did give all of us these too while we were there. Our sweet cherry jam from Friskies. So she took me to Friskies when I was up there, and I was in heaven because I got my cider donuts. Because unfortunately, you cannot get cider donuts here in Ohio. They have them, but they're not the real thing. They don't taste like the real thing. Then when you get them fresh from like the actual orchard, like Frisky cider donuts were, they were so good. They were amazing. But I am in love with this farm. I mean, it's a massive store. I think I took a picture of it. It's on my Instagram. Massive store. I got jams and honey mustards and chocolate covered cherries and unsweetened cherries. And so I had a whole lot of fun at Friskies. And we went up to we went up to Charlevoix after that. That's where I stopped at the world's largest cherry pie tin. So that was fun. So if you're ever in northern Michigan, Frisky should be a destination for you to stop at for sure. I loved it there. And real quick, I was going to show. I don't know why I picked this up. It's nothing that because my mom had given it to me not too long ago, since I've last filmed. But I thought it was kind of cool, so I wanted to show you guys. I don't know what's going on. I feel like my mom, every time I see her, she's like giving me more and more things, and I'm like, are you like purging or something? I don't know. My grandma did that too, and it always worried me. I'm like, why are you giving me all your stuff right now? She's like, well, you'll eventually have it, so I was just going to give it to you anyway. So my mom paints. She's an artist. Now, she hasn't painted in a lot of years, but growing up, she painted all the time. And she did beautiful, beautiful folk art paintings, mostly acrylics. She did oils too, but mostly acrylics. But and they were all over our house. I was so lucky. In fact, I'll have to show it next time. There's a gourd up on top of this old apothecary cabinet I have, that my mom painted a gourd with a Santa on it that I love. And I was just pulling it out to get ready for Christmas, because I'm one of those freaks who starts decorating for Christmas the beginning of November, and I don't care what anybody thinks about it. So, but I was pulling it out, but I'll have to show that in one of my other videos. But my mom had painted this old shaker box, and it had sat in our house forever, for as long as I can remember. And so that was her painting, and the lid was all painted. It's very folky art, but I love it because she did it. But inside, she had gifted me, or she put in there all my grandma's old bobbins and thread spools. And I don't know, there was a bunch in here. I was looking through all of them. There's all different sizes, shapes. Some old candles and stuff she had. I don't know. There was just a bunch of them. My grandma, as I've talked about her a lot. This one has that flower on it. We got to get rid of that. I'm not a fan of that, but it still has the wool on them. But anyways, Mom had gifted to me this for some reason, and of course I wanted it. I was so excited to have it because it's one of those things you remember always being in your home growing up, but now it's in my home. So I love this shaker box. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that because I thought it was really cool. I think that's it. I feel like I'm leaving all these things out because I know there's so many things that I haven't shown, but hopefully if I continue doing these videos, I'll be able to kind of fill in and show you guys things as I go along, and things that I found or I forgot that I had done or whatever. But thank you for sticking with me if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. Hopefully you saw something that you enjoyed, if nothing else, just to catch up with me because it's been so long. Like I said in my video, I don't know how often I'm going to do these or when I'm going to do these. When I get them done, I get them done. I'm just going to fit them in when I have time, and yeah, that's kind of how my life is these days. This is not a job for me. This is meant to be fun, and this is my hobby, and these are the things I do to escape from all the other responsibilities and things going on in my life. And so I want to enjoy this, and I want it to bring me joy. And if it feels like a job, or if it feels like it's not fun anymore, then I don't want to do it. So I want to keep things light and fun. And so for me, that means not having a set schedule. Now, if I'm able to get on every couple weeks and fill you guys in, great. I'm going to do it if I can, but I'm just not going to hold myself to a set schedule and then feel like I'm letting you guys down. Because I'm just not at that place in my life right now where I can do that. I've just got a lot going on externally. And so, it is what it is, but I at least wanted to check in. I wanted you guys to see me and see some of the things I've been working on and a few of the things that I've got, and kind of fill you in on all my stuff and where I've been and what I've been doing. I highly encourage you guys, if you can make it to a retreat next year, get there. we had so much fun, and I'm so glad to have shared that and made memories with my friends. And yeah, it was really good. And you never know, they have lots of cancellations. That's how Tara was able to get into the Hobby House retreat, because they had cancellations, and luckily she just called and checked. So if you maybe you didn't get in the first round of one, check with the store, because that's how we convinced Tara to come up and have fun with us. But so even if you didn't get into the first round, keep checking back if it's one that you really want to go to. And if you don't want to go to large retreats, then you know what? Do small friend retreats. I'm planning some of those next year too. It doesn't have to be a big event. It could be just getting together with friends. And honestly, I almost feel like I'm leaning more towards that direction anyways at this point in my life. I don't need all the, big hubbub. I just want to get together with my friends and stitch. And whether that's at a big retreat or just a couple of us getting together, both of them bring me joy. So do whatever works for you and whatever's best for you. So anyways, there's my little soapbox. Take it for what it's worth, or not. But it was good to see you guys, and hopefully I will be back at some point around the holidays next month. I can't even believe it's already November next month. So yeah, anyways, until I see you next time, keep finding things that bring you joy, guys. That's all I can tell you. Keep finding things that bring you joy. Needlework, knitting, stitching, quilting, whatever it is. And I will see you then. Bye guys. Thanks.